Okay, 2019, the old syllabus question. They say, which of the following is true of the substitution effect of a decrease in price of a normal good? Okay, normal good substitution effect when price decreases. It works to offset the income effect. It works to reinforce the income effect. It is less than the income effect. It causes a decrease in quantity demand. It causes an increase in demand. What happens? Again, a little bit confusing there. Think. Fourth answer. It causes a decrease in quantity demand, a decrease in price. Are you sure? What happens here? Cause an increase in demand, no, because okay, number 5, someone says 2. Okay, think. Use some this thing. Okay, okay, again, it's a little confusing here. What happens is look at the direction it goes. When it's a normal good, right? Think normal good. No, one thing. Okay, most of y'all said number 5. I'll eliminate number 5 because it can't be an increase in demand. It has to be an increase in quantity demand. Increase in the demand is a shift. Remember, substitution effect, income effect is talking about the law of demand. It is not talking about a shift in the demand. So it's not number 5. That is for certain, right? Okay. Now, is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Another thing I said, in a normal good, the substitution effect and the income effect, are they equal or is something greater than something else? Equal or something greater than something else? It's equal, right? So with that understanding, can I cut number 3 off? It is less than the income effect. No. Substitution effect, income effect is equal in a normal good. So number 5 is cut off, number 3 is cut off, right? So I can cut things off. So I'll cut it little by little and I'll explain the story to you. Then remember, substitution effect, I said, always complies with the law of demand. Remember that part that I said last class? I said if the price decreases according to the substitution effect, always quantity demand will increase. If the price increases according to substitution effect, always quantity demand will decrease. Right? I said no matter what, it's the income effect that causes that change. The substitution effect, remember, even if you all don't remember what I said last class, right? It will always comply with the law of demand, whether it's a normal good, whether it's a given good, whether it's an inferior good. No matter what the good is, substitution effect complies with the law of demand. That is, if the price increases according to the substitution effect, quantity should decrease. If the price decrease according to the substitution effect, quantity demand should increase. So in this situation, they say a decrease in price. So if there is a decrease in price according to the substitution effect, it should cause an increase in quantity demand. Can you see number 4? It causes a decrease in quantity demand here. Can you see that? It's wrong. That's why I'm cutting that part off as well. Right? Do you get the logic behind me cutting those 3? Yes. It needs you to, you should have been there in the last class. That is the first thing. Right? So I'm cutting little by little. Then, yeah, left with the first 2. The first 2, one says it offsets the income effect. It works to reinforce the income effect. Now, what is the meaning of this? In the first one, offsets the income effect means the income effect is showing something else. This substitution effect is, trying to cut it off. It's going the opposite directions. In reinforce means the income effect is also saying that has to happen. The substitution effect is supporting that. It's helping that. It's reinforcing that. Substitution income effect is saying, okay, when price decrease, I also have to increase demand. So substitution effect is also supporting that. That is what reinforcement means. Okay, I'll explain that again in case you are confused. So here they are saying which of the following is true of the substitution effect of a decrease in price. So offset means, right? So when the price decreases, according to the substitution effect, quantity demand should increase, right? So substitution effect will say, okay, come again. Normal good, what I explained the table, normal good, guys, right? Price decrease, normal good, price decrease. According to the substitution effect, what should happen to quantity demand? Increase or decrease? Substitution effect. It should increase, right? Because substitution effect will always go with the law of demand. When the price decrease, it has to increase. Fine. Then what is the income effect say? In a normal good, when price decreases, whatever table that you wrote down last class, maybe go and see. What is that say? Normal good, price decrease, income effect. I'm sure it doesn't say decrease, it says increase. Yeah. So in a normal good, when the price decrease, according to the substitution effect also quantity demand increases. According to the income effect also quantity demand increases. So here, right, what do you think the answer is? Is it offsetting something or is it supporting something? Is it reinforcing or is it offsetting? Answer here, guys, is number 2. It is supporting that. According to the income effect also they are saying increase. What is the substitution effect doing? They are also saying increase. They are reinforcing. Reinforce means, I'm kind of supporting that thing. I'm also making sure that it's happening. So the answer there is number 2. A little bit of a tricky MCQ, not number 1. Offset in the sense, then according to the income effect, it should have been a decrease then. If it's a decrease, then this increase and decrease, it's offsetting. Offsetting means cancelling off, guys. There is a plus and the minus getting offsetted. That is what offset means. So here it's not an offset. Here it's a reinforcement. A bit of a tricky question, guys. Even my understanding is, if people are try to, what I explained last class, try to, properly understand that. Even if you all did not understand, I went into very basics last class. I took around half an hour to explain it. But even if you all have not understood it, my thing is that just to leave it. Yes, even if you study that table that I gave, you can do the question. But remember, in the table I gave, please make that change, right? Cut off that negative and the positive parts, right? Study this part. Increase decrease part is correct. Cut off the positive negative because that has changed. I'm repeatedly telling this, guys, positive and negative here, this is not the way that they look at right now. The increase and the decrease is correct, right? So here with the increase and the decrease, you can answer. I'm saying you don't really need the positive and the negative part. Is that part okay? Yes. Tricky MCQs. I'm hoping the other MCQs will be easier than this. Shape. Yes. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, 8. Okay, easy one. See, they give you a little tricky MCQ and then they give you the easy ones. Which of the following would shift the supply curve of a good to the right? Supply curve of a good to the right will shift when what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea why are they giving the hard type question. Okay, easy one, guys. So the supply curve will shift to the right when what happens? When there is a decrease in the cost of production or price of inputs, right? A decrease in the price, it will not cause the supply curve to shift to the right. Quantity supplied will decrease. Remember, supply will shift when other prices affecting supply changes, not when the price changes. Okay, it's number 2. Okay, done. Then question number 9. Okay, which of the following indicates that two goods are substitutes? Easy thing, goes with cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand, when it substitutes, what type of cross elasticity do you have? Positive income elasticity, cross price elasticity less than 0, price elasticity less than 1, positive cross price elasticity, horizontal demand curve. Think. Substitutes comes from where? Comes from XCD, right? Cross price elasticity. So if the XCD is positive, what does it say? The goods are substitutes. Remember, it's coming from the basic thing. Now see, they give you one a little hard question and then the other questions become easy. So if it's positive, it is substitutes, right? Remember, I explained this before also. If it is negative, the two goods are complements. So here, the asking which of the following indicates the following goods are substitutes. The following goods are substitutes when the cross price elasticity, the XED, is positive. Answer number 4. Easy one. Okay. Then question number 10. Okay. If the government imposes a tax on the production of air conditioners, which of the following will occur in the market for air conditioners? There will be a movement to the right along the supply curve, movement to the right along the demand curve, supply curve is to the right, supply curve to the left, demand curve is to the right. I don't think you will get questions as easy as this. What happens when there is a tax? When there is a tax, what happens? Which curve shifts where? When there is a tax, the supply curve shifts to the left, right? Supply decreases. So it goes like, let's say you have a supply curve like this, it shifts this way. Remember, this is left, right? So answer number 4, the supply curve will shift to the left. Easy one there, right? So remember, right, in whatever paper, if there is a hard question, there will be easy questions to follow. If there were easy questions at the beginning, there is hard questions to follow. See the 2020 paper, it started with easy questions, right? What quantity demand is, what demand is, things like that. So where it ended up with, now this question, they started with somewhat of a hard question and now it's getting a little easy. Can get hard again as well, because it will be a balance always. They will not give all questions hard, all questions easy. It will be a balance always. Remember that. Okay, so moving on to the next. Give me a second. Okay. See now PEDN. This thing is there. They say if the total revenue of a firm increases by 10% as an increase in price by 20%, the demand it faces in this price range must be, be a little careful, elastic, inelastic, unilateral, that. What is happening? When the price increases, so when price increases, right, total revenue also increases here. Now, why are they giving that 10% and 20%? That 10% and 20% is given you to confuse you. Because then you will think, this is only increasing by 10%, then it will be, things like that. You can get confused there. So what is happening? The price is increasing, right? When the price is increasing, the total revenue is also increasing. So what type of good elasticity is that? That is when you have inelastic demand, right? I think I've explained this more than enough in the previous classes, right? The whole logic, whole table. Guys, do you all have the table written down? Yes, that whole thing that I put values and explained. Yeah, have it? No? Lost it? Huh? Okay, hope you all do have that table. So from that table, you can easily figure this out. Okay, simple thing. Then good to see you all having the table, some of you all. Okay, nice one. They say, the diagram below shows 4 market supply curves, right? I think I explained a part of this, I think, last class. Why can't that be perfectly inelastic? It can't be perfectly inelastic because in perfect inelastic, if price increases by 20%, total revenue will also increase by 20%. Guys, the table, I don't think I have a picture. If I think it should be there in the group. Someone in the beyond the classroom group, if you have that table that I explained, elastic, inelastic, the PED and total revenue part, right? Remember that thing? If you all have a picture of the thing that I drew on the board, it should be there somewhere. I'll explain it. I'll find it after class and send it if you want. But if anyone else has, just resend it on the group. It might be there on the group somewhere also. Okay. This one. Diagram below shows 4 market supply curves. Which statement is correct about the price elasticity? Okay, good question. Curve S1, okay, has decreasing elasticity as price rises. Okay, looks correct. S2 has an increasing price elasticity as price rises. No. uh, S3 has decreasing price elasticity. Mhm. S4 has infinite. No, S4 is 0. S2 has elasticity greater than 1. No. Which one is the answer? What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think did I explain this story previously? That, when the curve starts here, it is elastic. When the curve starts from here, it is inelastic. Then along the curve, what is happening to elasticity? Yes, I think I explained that story. Okay, so I'll just explain this once again, guys. The curve S1 so S1 number one, remember, when the curve starts from this point, right, it has a negative intercept, so it means it comes like this. No, it comes like this and then goes. When there is a curve like this, that means it is elastic, right? The PED is elastic. And when going along the curve, so that means when the price is increasing or when the quantity is increasing, right? When you go along the curve, the PED decreases. So this one is elastic, and when you go along the curve, PED decreases. So the answer is number one. They say S1 has decreasing elasticity as price increases. So this is the answer, right? I explained that. Sorry, PES, guys. Sorry, not PED, PES. Okay. So PES is greater than 1 along the curve, it will decrease. Then curve S2. This, remember, curve that starts from here, I explained when we did the question. This is unitary elastic, a curve like this. So a curve like this will always have an elasticity of how much? 1. Will always be 1, right? So they say S2 has increasing price elasticity. No, it will have a elasticity of 1 only. It will always be 1, right? Then number 3, S3. Now this one is an inelastic curve, S3, right? This curve is an inelastic curve. And what happens in an inelastic curve? Along the price, what happens? Along, when the price keeps on increasing, the PES will increase as well, right? So you can put numbers and figure out, guys. So if you have an inelastic supply curve, put a find PES here and find PES at this point, you will see at the higher point that the PES is higher. So not this as well, explained previously. S4 has a constant infinite elasticity. No, S4 is perfectly inelastic. It has a zero elasticity. If you had a curve like this, sorry, not like that, straight line curve like that, then you could have said it has infinite elasticity or infinite. Not this. S2 says has elastic greater than 1. S2, no, it's a unitary elastic curve. Elasticity is 1. It's not greater than 1. So not that as well. So answer number 1. Explained in a previous MCQ. I remember I explained that story. In a previous MCQ, they had just one of these curves. Do you all remember that MCQ by any chance? They had one of these curves and asked what is happening to elasticity when the price or quantity is increasing. No? Check and see in your past papers if you were there all the days, it would have been there. That is why I didn't go into that detail. I think when I explained that story also, I explained the other areas also. So that is why, guys, attendance is compulsory, because if we don't come to one, the others get a little tough. So make sure you're somehow there, right? So that is why I sometimes want you all to somehow come, because otherwise it doesn't happen. PED, guys, there is no story like that in this. PED along the curve, no. So what happens to PED? That I think you all know that, right? So PED is like this, no. You have a curve like this. At this point, it is infinity. At this point, it is 0. Right in the middle, PED is 1. This area is greater than 1. Elastic. This area is less than 1. It is inelastic. That you all know, no? How PED changes along the curve. Okay, 2016 question number 11. Okay, so then that may be the question. So go and check. I would have explained this story there. You all would have written things down as well. I'm hoping you all are writing down. Yes, I'm hoping you all are not having fun listening to me. Yeah. You all should have a CR book in front of you where you're writing things down, whatever that I say. Yeah, at least scribble it with pencil later, have your time and then write it nicely in pen. Do that later, but hopefully you all are doing that, not just looking at a screen and marking right or wrong. Okay, because that is not the point of this whole class. If you want to mark right or wrong, check the answer behind the your past paper book and mark right or wrong. Yeah, so write things down, because no matter how much you think you remember, you don't. Yeah. Okay, question 13. Easy one. The diagram below shows the market for an essential consumer product before and after the introduction of a subsidy on production. Okay, easy one. Subsidy. What is the total amount of money paid in subsidies? What is the total amount of money paid? How do you figure this diagram out? Yeah, so I would have told this to my revision class students. So what happens when the supply curve shifts to the right, right? You have your new equilibrium. What do? What is the, anyone remembers what are the steps I've told to find out the uh, subsidy expenditure or even the tax revenue? What do? From your new equilibrium? Anyone? No one? Exactly. From your new equilibrium, you draw a line to your old supply curve, right? Your old supply curve, and then you draw that box. That this is the subsidy expenditure. From your new equilibrium, always draw a line to your old supply curve and then draw the box. Even taxes, same thing. To find the tax revenue, new equilibrium, you draw a line to your old supply curve, you draw the box, right? That is the way I taught you all. I'm hoping whatever teacher would have taught you all in different ways, but to find the subsidy expenditure, it's an easy thing. So which one is the area? K, A, B, and L. Okay, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, so answer number 5. Yeah, easy one there. That is the subsidy expenditure. Okay, guys, to repeat subsidy expenditure, guys, for this, I didn't go into deep on the subsidy, right? So remember how to find the subsidy expenditure, government subsidy expenditure, or government tax revenue. What you should do from your new equilibrium point, right? So this is here. You always draw a line to your old supply curve, right? So here, old supply curve is on top now. So I draw a line on top and I draw that box like that. That becomes the subsidy expenditure. Even tax, same story, right? Go and just check. You all would understand that part. Okay, 13 done. Question number 14. They say assume that good X is sold in a competitive market. Which of the following is true if a unit tax is imposed on the production of good X? Okay, good question. If the demand is perfectly elastic, price does not rise by the amount of the tax. I think, I don't know, anyone who was there in my 2022 class recently? No? This is the area that we did. Yeah, this area I made them draw the diagrams and I did all the diagrams. Yeah, should have been there. Okay, assume that good X is sold in a competitive market. Which of the following is true if a unit tax is imposed? Right, so for this is a little bit of a tricky question you have to draw and figure out. If the demand curve is perfectly elastic, the price does not rise by the amount of the tax. Perfectly elastic, entire tax burden will be borne by the producer. So price does not rise by the amount of the tax. That can be the answer as well. No, no, no. Okay, not that. Okay, if the demand curve is perfectly inelastic, the price does not rise by the same amount of the tax. They say consumer burden of the tax rises as demand is more elastic. Consumer burden of tax rises as the demand is less elastic. Okay, going with the simple things. Other things, guys, you all can, draw and try to figure out, right? But the basic thing that I told you all, even when I explained this, higher the inelasticity, higher the tax burden. Remember that part I told you all? Whoever who is more inelastic, if the consumer is more inelastic, consumer tax burden is high. If the producer is more inelastic, producer's tax burden is high. So then if you look at answer number 4 there, right? Answer number 4 says consumer burden of the tax rises as demand is less elastic. Guys, less elastic means inelastic. So when demand is inelastic, what happens? Consumers' tax burden tends to increase. So that is the answer there, right? It comes, remember the simple logic of higher the inelasticity, higher the tax burden. The other answers also, I'll not spend time drawing it. You all can draw the diagrams and check whether it is true or false. Okay, are we okay with that? Yes, no? Guys, remember to, to do this, you should have some sort of basic knowledge, because otherwise, trust me, this will be Greek for you. What I said, you will wonder what is elastic, what is inelastic, how is this tax happening, right? For that, please make sure you do the questions beforehand. Please make sure you study the questions, study that unit and then do the questions, because otherwise it can be very basic. And this part I would have explained previously as well. Today is the last day I'm doing the MCQs, right? So I would have explained previously. That is why I am going faster, right? In case someone is joining for the very first time, this will be a little lost. Why can't it be answer one? Okay, answer one. If the demand is perfectly elastic, let me try drawing this. Demand, okay, so you have a curve like this. Demand is perfectly elastic. You have a supply curve, right? If the demand is perfectly elastic, the price does not rise by the amount of the tax. Okay, so question here is that you can argue that it is not the answer because you have not got enough information here. Now, in demand is perfectly elastic, if you draw a supply curve like this, and then if the supply curve shifts, yes, the price does not increase by the amount of the tax. But have they ever told you that the supply is elastic? What if you have like a different, if you have, let's say, a perfectly elastic supply curve also? So then there can be complications there, because yes, that can be an answer. That is what even I was thinking. But since we have a better answer in this, right? Since we have a better answer, number 4, that is why I'm going with number 4. Then. Okay. Yeah, guys. If you have a class at 12, you can leave. No issues. I will not start the essay questions today. I don't think we have the time. Not that you all want to stay and do that as well. Okay, that's it. Did I miss any questions? No, right? Okay, so that should be that. Okay, I can start the essay questions. I'm not that I have work, but not that you all would stay anyway. Yeah, so we'll do the essay questions ideally the next class. So essay questions I'm looking at, please do the essay questions and come. Probably in 2 classes, we can finish all the essay questions that is there. Okay, so simple essay questions, simple, there are calculations and all of that, right? The basic calculations you all can do. But what I want you all to do is this, right? Now, you all have time until next week, no? Right? So first things that you have to, do is do this, right? Because otherwise you always start forgetting things. So as a practice, right, what you have to do is go through all the MCQs that we did. So we would have done around, I'll say somewhere around 100 MCQs, right? So we did 2011 to 2020 now, right? So 11 papers there, right? So there would have been somewhere around 100. I'm not saying the exact number, somewhere around 100. Go through all these 100 MCQs that we did, right? So, this board is there. So hoping you all were there. So all the explanations under each MCQ would have been there. I'm hoping you all would have written down and you all would have come, right? So go through these 100 MCQs that we did, right? Learn the small things from it. There can be things that you did not know before you joined this class, right? Those small areas, make sure you learn those, right? First do that part, right? Learn the MCQs, logic behind that, do that. And then, right, so go through this, right? This is before next Wednesday, what you all have to do, right? Go through all the 100 MCQs properly, right? Learn from your mistake, right? If you all have got wrong, okay, anyone who properly did the 100 MCQs has a number of how much you all got correct? No, I don't know. Anyone has an idea of how much is the total MCQs? Total, how much did we do? You need 2 and 3. Rough number at least. Any number better than my 100? No number. No one numbers. Okay, so no issue, right? So learn 115. Okay. So learn from the mistake, right? Learn from where you want. That is the most important. 96 MCQs. Okay, 96. Okay, someone saying 115. Okay, whatever. Right, the number there. Right, see how much you got correct. Right, even there are answers that you got correct. You would have underlined kana. Right, so understand the logic behind it, and whatever that you got wrong, see where you went wrong and figure out why you went wrong, and then correct it. Make sure if a question like that comes again, you will not repeat that mistake. That is the whole purpose of doing it. Remember, you do past papers because same kind of questions get repeated. You do it, you learn from it, so that in case it comes again, you will not make the mistake again. So learn from the mistakes, right? And then, right, I'll say from 2011 to, let's say, 2016. Okay, 144 MCQs, 2011 to 2020. Okay, so there are not 100 MCQs. Okay, I think that count would have been right. So there's 144 MCQs from 2011 to 2020, right? See how much of y'all have got correct. Correct what y'all have, missed it. Revision class students, recording is there on the Google Classroom, right? If you want, go rewatch the recording and try to figure out where y'all went wrong, right? So then 2011, yeah, 2011, try to do the part 2 questions. Remember, part 2 questions will either be from this question number 2, mostly question number 2. Sometimes it will be in question number 3, sometimes question number 4. Remember, in the years 2014, there are 2 questions if I'm not mistaken, and 2016 also there are 2. I'm not very sure the years, but some years you can have 2 essay questions from the units 2 and 3. In 2020 definitely there is 2 because new syllabus, but other questions see and do, right? Some years there are 2 essay questions. So do all those questions and come, then we'll be doing it. The next class, guys, we'll be doing it again back to our normal time, unless I tell you all a change, right? So the next class will be on next Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. 1 week later, from in our normal time, that is 5 to 7, right? So if you all have registered for the free seminar, that is not beyond the classroom, guys. What I'm doing on, I sent you all a flyer. That is not beyond the classroom. That is just a seminar for you all to what okay, so 2014 and 2020. So 2014 and 2020 have 2 essay questions each from these 2 units, right? So do those. The seminar on this Saturday, right, that is the 2nd of January, that is not a class that I will teach these past papers. That is something to to kind of make sure you all plan the year ahead and to help you all plan the year, right? So that thing do come, right? That is on Saturday 7:30 p.m. onwards to somewhere around 9. Okay, have an exam, we'll see what we can do. That is there. Again, the past papers I will be doing next Wednesday 5 to 7, right? So do the essay questions and come. At least try to do everything if possible, but at least try to do from 11 to 16, because we will not be able to finish all the essay questions in one day. So I'll try to finish from 2011 to 16, from 17 to 20, maybe 11 to 15 or somewhere, right? By another 2 more classes, the unit 1, 2, 3, all past papers will be done. So unit 4 is small, that will not take this much time. This is taking time because we combine 2 units, right? So unit 4 we can finish in, let's say, 3-4 classes, and soon we can go ahead with the others, right? So we'll do that on our end, but make sure on your end you come to the class, because if you miss one class, the next class I will not be explaining things in deep. The very first few classes are very important because I go into depth in the first one. After that, if the logic is again tested, I don't go, I just skip it. Okay, so make sure attendance, I'm not saying it's compulsory in sense, because you will not understand otherwise. Okay, so that's it for today, right? Since you all have other classes and all of that, we'll meet again on ideally next Wednesday, right? Yeah, happy new year in advance to you all as well. So see you all on the 2nd on the seminar, some of you all again on Wednesday for this. Okay, see you guys, bye, have a good day. So if anyone has any questions, guys, you all can stay and clarify. Free in the sense, not free, but if you all really want to, I can. Happy new year, guys. See you, bye.